South Wales Children's Court is a specialist court which handles criminal cases that concern young people as well as matters regarding their care and protection. Perhaps the most important legislation is the establishment of the Young Offenders Act 1997. This legislation allows for diversionary options available to young offenders. Such diversionary schemes have the potential to prevent young offenders from having further contact with the criminal justice system through identifying underlying causes of criminal conduct such as the impact of mental illness. One of the main diversionary options under the Act are youth justice conferences as well as a means of dealing with an offence. Under this community-based option, young offenders work towards an outcome plan that can include participation in appropriate programs and counselling. This appears to be a great initiative and option for mentally ill young offenders. Both Section 32 and 33 of the Mental Health Forensic Provisions Act is applied in the same manner as to adult offenders. Under these provisions, it allows a magistrate to dismiss the charges against the defendant either conditionally or unconditionally when diagnosed as suffering from a mental illness. Section 33 is designed to apply to acute forms of mental illness and allows magistrates to divert a defendant into treatment in the civil mental health system. Section 32 is broader in scope and allows a magistrate to divert where a defendant is developmentally disabled or suffering from a mental illness or mental condition, and the magistrate considers it more appropriate to deal with the defendant in accordance with diversionary provisions than otherwise in accordance with the law. In order for a magistrate to enact these provisions, young offenders need to be flagged as suffering from a mental illness. This usually is done through the Adolescent Court and Community Team, the ACCT, in certain courts in New South Wales. Under this program, clinicians based at court accept referrals from other court-based agencies for the purpose of performing clinical assessments for young people showing signs of possible mental illness or emerging mental disorder. Following assessment, a report is prepared outlining mental health issues and potential options for dealing with the young person in both custodial and community settings. However, concerns arise with the use of the ACCT in conjunction with Section 32 and 33, including in focusing on future recommendations for handling young offenders with a mental illness within the court system. The magistrate's early referral into treatment program is a program that could be used as a prime example of the type of scheme the court system needs to adopt. Merit is currently based in the local court for adult offenders and is aimed at breaking the crime cycle associated with substance abuse. Under the Merit program, matters are adjourned until the program is completed. Defendants are monitored by the Merit team throughout the process. The team reports back to the magistrate, who reviews the case on a regular basis to assess continuing suitability for the program and capacity for treatment and rehabilitation. The magistrate can consider the defendant's response to the treatment when sentencing. The scheme operates within the framework of Bail Act 1978, which allows defendants to be temporarily diverted out of the criminal justice system into treatment. Merit has been estimated to reduce the number of defendants who reoffend by 12%. If a similar plan to Merit was adopted for young offenders suffering mental health illness, arguably it would be effective because young people would have potentially higher capacity for rehabilitation due to ongoing development. A court or tribunal is able to monitor the young person's progress and potentially assess capacity for rehabilitation or treatment and determine suitability for diversion, and an agency or group of agencies is given the responsibility of performing an assessment for suitability and of formulating a case or treatment plan, whereas under Section 32 diversion, the defendant may need to obtain their own psychological or psychiatric reports and access a treatment plan.
Created using Powtoon.